Guten Morgen. Deutsch, English, Rumänisch, Französisch. Which language do you want us to deliver the session today? Well, first of all, I need to thank Asaf for organizing that for me, and I want to thank Lincoln Murphy for ruining my session. Actually, he covered some of my topics, so if the great Lincoln Murphy covered, that's probably a good sign. Well, you see here a time span. We are here, we were there, we'll be here. Let's start. My apologies, this is my first time with Prezi. So, the start. Where did it all start? What do you think? At the beginning, right? Where did it all start? Did it start here? Those people were 12 years old in the coal pits of Wales. It didn't start there. All they needed is helmet, horse, down the pit, and see you when you are 18 with lung cancer. But it didn't start here. It started where all the SaaS industry evolved, 2010, more or less. That's the real start of customer success. Before that, one question, how many of you were project managers before joining Success? Good. Me too. So many of us were, or some of us were project managers, and CSM maybe is doing the same or started the same. But once we moved to the software as a service, cloud computing, there was no need for a real project manager because customer was buying a subscription, no need for something like that. Why did it start actually? That's a nice diagram, networking. I hope that what we are doing outside is similar to that, but you cannot replicate it. So whenever you have a product that requires something like that, you might need a CSM. So that's the combination of the two things is the real need or the real start of the customer success. But why does it continue? I mean, we had this trigger, and the reason it actually continues is this one. Show me the money. Customers, or actually vendors, realized that this pot of money or this bag of money is going to increase since the CSM is driving growth, expansion, renewal, stuff like that. So everybody wants to be part of it. Every reasonable department, as Amit Karp said in his session, will create such a function, such a department. So that's the actual start. But actually, why do you really need a CSM? Why do you think we need a CSM? Yeah, why not?
To retain.
Good answer. We are listening to Lincoln and Amit. So, my question to you, the guy there. No, you. How many products do you sell in your company? And you can say the company name. Well, my site is not so good, but okay. So how many products do you sell? Really one. And it doesn't have colors, and it's a broad product. So a customer can buy the entire product, but only use bits of it. How many of you sell more than one product? How many of you sell more than two products? I assume you do not sell Coco Chanel number 5. Coco Chanel number 5 was the 5th because the first 4 were a failure, probably. Like Tamir, if you know this water. So if you are selling more than one product, and I know that Coco Chanel is selling more than one product, you might need a CSM. How often you release a feature? How many of you release a quarterly base? That's all? How many of you release on a monthly base? Did I hear the word continuous delivery? Oh my God. So if you release, like Beaker, on a continuous delivery mode, what are your customers experiencing? Constant change. Positive change, but it's constant change. And some of your customers look like that. And customer success is not only there to make him smile, or maybe bring the Swedish chef to cook something. My next question, those of you that have only one product, how easy is your product? Easy? Did I hear the word easy? Sorry? Well, 1 to 10. 1 is, well, you cannot do it without any professional services, and 10, you can just log in and everything is self-explanatory. 10 is a perfume. Thank you. Well, did I hear the word 7? 4. Did I hear the word 5? Good, sold. Apparently, it's easy to configure. We know this Mick Myers. Easy to configure? Probably only in his movies. That was 2010, and the reason I have chosen 2011 is because that's November 2011. I joined the customer success path. We were not called there customer success. Do you remember? Do you think of any name that was there when you were maybe in the army, maybe youngsters in high school? Sorry, I'm old.
Account manager?
Wrong. Did I hear the word engagement manager? Engagement manager, we have to engage with the customer. Just engage. As you engage with your wife before she becomes your wife and then you divorce. That's churn, by the way. And it costs a lot of money to the organization. Trust me, I'm going through that. So let's see what happens in 2011. So who are we? So I heard here tech support. Did I hear other things like account management? Do I need that? If you don't hear me, tell me I'll show. So who are we actually? 2011, we are engagement managers. Once upon a time in the wild, wild west. Do you know this guy? Mission Impossible. That was the beginning of CSM. Well, that was actually what we at the beginning did. We received call from a customer. Oh, I tried to click this and that. I tried to upload the file. Didn't work. Can you help me with that? That's what we did. Then we developed something which is called onboarding. How many of you do onboarding? Well, as Lincoln said, the rest are liars. Because probably you are doing onboarding altogether. So we invented the onboarding, or somebody invented the onboarding. So everybody on board, we onboard customers. What does it mean onboard customers? We sell value. As Lincoln said, Tamir and others, we sell value and we become a critical path in the customer journey. That's what we do. But you see, this is an old boat. And onboarding is not old. Let's see what happened further. Health. I'm measuring health. Anyone else here in the room is measuring health? Meaning all of you. Trust me, I know. And if you're not measuring, start doing it now. Use Tutango, use Gainsight, use whatever. Internal developed tools, but do that. But health is another brick in the wall. You know this. But we don't need no education. Well, you need education. We need education. We need to educate the customers how to achieve this goal of health. That's not easy. You have one product, very simple, hard to configure. You have few programs, 4, as you said. So health is actually a mean to understand that the customer is using the tool according to your understanding. But each one of them, as I said, is a brick in the wall. Onboarding, tech support, this and that. All are different masks of what we have done in the past. My question to you is, how often do you do those activities? How long of your day of work consists of measuring health and onboarding and some technical support? 5 minutes?
No, you have like 10 more to go.
10 more to go. Oh my God, I didn't plan for that. So how do you break your working day? We had a selfie, so you owe me. Oh, I owe you.
just starting to set the customer success department. So trying to figure out how to measure everything, how to start onboarding, some support, a little bit.
Okay, so I'll share with you what is my. If I break my day, well, I do nothing, I'm a manager. But if I break my CSM day, measuring health, onboarding, and tech support takes maybe 10% of their time. So what do they do in the other time? What do you do in the other time? Excluding YouTube and other Instagram and stuff like that. So we engage with the customer. That's what we do. We contact the customer, but all of that is actually 2018, because 2018 is in the past. Everything that we've done, which I described here, was in the last 7 years, but then we, and I didn't introduce myself, Ofer introduced me. We work in Panaya. I worked in Panaya for over 7 years, and our customer base is quite a unique and big customer base. We have some churn, you know. And then, end of 2018, there was a decision, a pivot, CS evolution. So we evolved from technical support, engagement manager, divorce manager, to actually doing that, renewals. And I will quote Amit. I have to quote him because he's here and Lincoln is not here. But actually, I have to quote him because he's right. Renewal is the growth engine of Panaya. I must share with you that beginning the 1st of January 2019, Panaya did a pivot. What kind of pivot? We moved from doing all what I described, engagement management, technical support on a small fraction, doing onboarding, measuring health, communicating with the customer on a regular basis. We changed that to renewal focused. So first quarter completed. When did your quarter complete? Yesterday. Yesterday. So we are not selling to Israel. Why? That was a decision, or the market is not there. But it ended yesterday, and I'll share with you some of our actuals. Maybe I'm not allowed, but I'll do share that. On renewal perspective, my team reached 102% renewal. How do you do that? How do you do positive 102% renewal? Oh, I heard the word upsell and expansion. Well, Panaya did a pivot from moving from education and trusted advisor to selling. My team, and there is one here that knows part of my team, actually we're negotiating with customers. We're looking into their, 4 minutes. They were looking at their needs and transform the value of Panaya into commercial. So exactly what Lincoln said, the word commercials with existing customer is not a bad language. They appreciate, and I can share, and I volunteered, I spoke with the staff, I volunteered to do another session on how sales, CSM sales differ from sales. And I can share with you, that was the idea that I had during the last session, that CSM sale is easier. Why do you think it's easier? We have a relationship. Now I wear the hat of an account manager. I have a portfolio of 70 accounts, sometimes 100 accounts. And my task is to bring new logos and renew. So I look at my calendar. Oh, it's quarter number 1. How many accounts do I need to renew in quarter number 1? 5. So let me call them. When you call them, it's probably too late. Why? Because the customer is building their budget a year ahead, and the account manager is picking only the low-hanging fruits. CSM doing renewals, that's the future. That's really the future. Some companies already did this transformation. We did it only this quarter, and I can tell you the exposure that we, as CSM, let me not fall from here, the exposure that we as CSM gained in the board. We have no board because we were acquired, but with the CEO is immense. It's huge. So we have a daily, or sometimes at the end of the quarter, a daily sales meeting. I presented this session. I'm exposed to management. And now, in Panay at least, probably in future organizations as you are doing, the CSM is no longer a function, it's a revenue stream and regarded as such. And if you want to transform and become a very, very decisive department, go that path. Maybe I'm preaching to the choir, but I can tell you I was not convinced at the beginning. When we did this transformation, I was always telling renewals, us, we as a trusted advisor will go to the customer and say, can you share some of your revenue with us? Send us a PO. What do you think? Is it an easy transformation? Is it an easy pivot? I hear someone saying yes. Do I say nay here? Everybody's convinced, so Amit, you're done. So renewals, focus on renewals. The level of trust that the customer gains with the CSM is huge. And I can share from my experience, the team sees that as a different approach. It's no longer, oh, I have an onboarding session today, let me teach the customer how to do this and that, and I see no value. Having said that, never forget the other bricks. They are maybe of the past, but without them, there will be no future. No future at all in renewals, and the revenue. Yes, I see here a question. Boom. That's a great question. Well, each and every CSM has his own quota based on the potential that they should renew. And based on the churn rate and the renewal rate in the past, that's how it was measured. So if you have any questions, meet me at the networking place. I'll be happy to take a selfie. I took only 2, so anything that you want. Thank you very much.